Imagine you're walking through Area Zero of Pokémon Scarlet and Violet, when suddenly you hear a familiar cry. You walk a little further and something appears. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you 28 new paradoxes. In fact, I will start with the paradox I showed in the introduction. What about doing an auxiliary controlled by a remoraid? I want to be inspired by the beta auxiliary, the concept of a little boy controlling a giant robot, almost like Evangelion, in which a thread is one of the two beams and making them synchronize. These two were telepathy. And this is the final design. Note the tentacles are curled up with two wheels, and with a wheel-like texture as well. It has some specific capsule details, just bulbs on the head, especially the visor. And that inside it display there's a remoraid connected to a wire controlling the robot. I can easily imagine it moving, the wheel spinning as if it were a battle tank. I really like this design. It was my first design that broke my channel bubble. It was even present in my first video of 2023. Now, it's also in my first video of 2024. And it all said, let's go to the technical information. Addon Cannonade is done. Listen to its cry. It's a water-fire type and it matches with the cannon explosions. According to the Scarlet Pokédex, it strangely resembles the one described in a paranormal magazine, as if inside each auxiliary were a remoraid controlling it from the inside. In Violet, it's possibly that Iron Cannonade is a creation of a futuristic remoraid described in an ancient book. Basically, I'm saying that since remoraid changes a lot into auxiliary, it is living inside out. The shiny version is basically chrome like the others. Return the popcorn because there are many still paradoxes to see today. The next one is a fusion between Weavile and Sneasler. And this was a suggestion from a subscriber, and it could work very well since we have Iron Valiant, which is the fusion of Gardevoir and Gallade. And since Weavile and Sneasler are practically related, why not do the same? We also decided to take some details from Fluttermane. I think the design is basically Weavile with the height of an alpha Sneasler. A long hair follows the similar pattern of Sneasler itself. It also has a little belly just like Sneasler and a cute. It also has eyeliners like Fluttermane and a piece of jewelry with Egyptian features. The colors are the mix of the two origins. The higher vainglory is here. It's dark poison because it's a kind of combination from the two originals. Its Pokédex is this mysterious and aggressive creature like a monster in an expedition journal. And also, it's like a primordial version of Sneasel evolutions described in a dubious magazine. The shiny version is inspired by a combination of the originals. Stylish, I think. X1 is a paradox McCargo. Genuinely a collab with Devesa Illustration. Long time ago, he had the future paradox and I have the past paradox. My idea was to make this shell made of bones, basically fossils, and also be inspired by cold lava. You can see that the design is basically this, with hot lava blowing out, as well having an eye in the shell, like it were a monster. Inside it, it had these fangs that can easily pierce huge rocks. Now, the technical information. Molten Core. Iron Dark type. It is described in Scarlet. This creature appears to be Molten Core, a monster described in the ancient book, which was fossilized because of an eruption. In Violet, this Pokémon resembles the hottest version of Macargo that was described in a paranormal magazine. The shiny version is pink, because the original is too. Well, since some pseudo-legendaries like Paradox is how you do some others too. The first one, Excalibur. I don't really like its design, so it was kinda difficult for me. My inspiration was Stegosaurus, medieval chainmail ape. Let's make sense with the Excalibur lore. For the design, I want to make it quadrupedal to match the Stegosaurus on its head, the chainmail I mentioned. The rest is very similar to the original Excalibur, and I just turned the fake claws into actual claws, and imagine flapping its tail and using Glitch Rush in a very silly way. Barbarian Glaive is done. It's Dragon Steel type to match the medieval aesthetic. It's Scarlet Dex entries. An ancient book written by knights described a monster similar to Barbarian Glaive. Blue Violet. It resembles a Excalibur that lives in the Dark Ages 1,000 years ago. By the way, the shiny follows the same pattern as the original. The next one is a paradox I made for this video, imagine a Meragross, but instead of being metal, it's a spider or a scorpion, or both of them. I was inspired by that scorpion from a Scooby-Doo movie and by the real animals. The design was basically a gross with fur like a tarantula with larger fangs, as well a tail with a sting that looks like a hand. I can imagine to walking around or levitating, occasionally stinging enemies. I think it could have a trippy poison that makes enemies hallucinate. Real bad trip. Creepy Stinger is here. Its psychic bug type poison could work too. The Scarlet description says, notes from explorers report a giant insect similar to the creepy stinger that poisoned a half of the group. In Violet, a dubious magazine claims the mutant Metagross wiped out half of a group of 10 explorers, and that Pokémon was never seen again. I find it interesting that the descriptions of the past paradoxes are disregarded the index of the Violet and vice versa. We decided to do the same. The shiny is pretty obvious and I think it's worked very well. What about you? And the last pseudo-legendary main was Dragonite. It was already a big shot on the channel. Some of you may remember it. It was a suggestion from a subscriber, making inspired by Puff, the magic dragon, which, by the way, was a cartoon. Tweak, I don't know. I also want to be inspired by salamanders and the beta Dragonite. It was friendlier. As you can see, its tail is basically a chubby tail of a salamander. The design is quadrupedal and with a buff-like pose. Imagine it's a good boy flying away and hugging other Pokemon, even though it's giant. Naboish is done. It's Dragon Fairy type, suggested by the subscriber. Regarding the Scarlet Dex, this friendly Pokemon has similarities to the Naboish, rated by a young adventurer. In Violet, giant Dragonite narrated in a TV series reports creatures similar to this Pokemon. Remember the giant Dragonite from the anime? So, it can be Naboish, why not? Did you like in this one? How about a future paradox for Among Us? Since we have a paradox from the past, it's fair to have one for the future. My inspirations for it were that robot from Monsters vs. Aliens, Real Robot as well, Elite Capsules, and of course, you can see that I made the eye in the exact position of the Amogus. I even made a baby fungus to represent the baby Krill made. I made it have similar colors from purpose, not gonna lie. It moves also very fast, spinning the wheel while the baby fungus keeps jumping. Please, I want to know how to animate the scene. It's probably the fastest paradox. It's ironic because Among Us is very slow, and the hand mushroom it released under these bars. I don't really like future paradoxes except when they change a lot or seem like twists, like Item Bundle and this Among Us. Now let's see the technical information. Item Creo, obvious reasons, is done. It's an electric poison type, since Root Bonnet was the poison type. Scarlet Pokédex is this. It is very similar to a cyborg mentioned in a paranormal magazine. He invaded a ship, pretended to be a Krill member, and eliminated all the cosmonauts. In Violet, this object has many similarities with a drone known as Iron Krill, mentioned in a logbook narrated in a space operation from the 60s. This new version follows the same pattern, but I think it looks decent. Next one is a sharing paradox, which makes perfect sense specifically since the past paradox. Like photosynthesis is related to some and sharing has the ability flower gift, which is also related to some. My inspirations were the Gigantamax, the Race Ball, and the solar form of the sharing. I don't know if it will have a regular form, the photosynthesis is not activated, but if it does, I think it will be very similar to the original. this with a dinosaur tail, just like this one. Look, it has a dinosaur tail. Cute, ain't it? And I think it could jump aside from the other like the original. Fiery Gift is finished. And then makes sense with the ability. Since it's a grass fire type, it can have a great potential on some teams. Scarlet Pokédex says, a paranormal magazine investigated a survivor of a terrible drought who spotted this creature. Violet says, it resembles a cherry on fire because of a drought, narrated by an inventory who hallucinated from the heat. The shiny version has blue fire to be stylish. Did you like it? About a Kecleon paradox. I actually made a mythical version of Kecleon some time ago. In much more time ago, I mean stand-ups. My first post actually. My inspiration is Pachycephalosaurus and Triceratops. In the purple Kecleon, additionally, I make it more dinosaur shape. Although it looks like an evolution instead. It was one of my first paradoxes, so didn't take it too serious. And of course, it can become invisible. So, sneaky colors is done. The type is normal ghost because it's invisible. And Scarlet Pokédex says, only card exists of this Pokémon. Data is lacking because a notebook told that it become invisible. And Violet says, this Pokémon is similar to a primitive Kecleon and becomes invisible to hunt and escape predators with just a fury. The shiny version is the line with a different color on the torso, simple and disappointing. X1 is the Stuful paradox. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of future paradoxes, but I think those Flux toys are something related to can work very well. So I decided to be inspired by a Beta Ghost Panda and robot dolls, and a bit of the maid aesthetic. She has this panda-inspired head. Now she has plugs in its head to charge. She also had light bulb on its tail. And imagine when she takes some hits, her head can be ejected like the Iron Bundle, and she can shoot through her arms. Wait, Iron Ball is here. It's fighting ghost type because inspired by the Beta Ghost Panda. Then Scarlet Pokédex says, the shape of this robot is similar to a futuristic house drone, according to a paranormal magazine. In Violet, this creature looks like a household object described in a notebook. The shiny version is completely chrome. It is disappointing, but cute. X1 was the first paradox I've made, so Omega. At the time I made it, only Great Tusk has been revealed, so I don't have much pattern for the paradox. I didn't know how to do, so to mark for my feeling. My inspirations were Beta and Omega and the Greek Goblin from Spider-Man movie. Its design is more earthly, similar to a dragon, but let's focus on the technical information right now. Roshiel's Wyvern is done. It's bug dragon type because it looks like a dragon. Scarlet Pokédex is, its aggressive Pokémon is similar to a description of Atrocious Wyvern, a dragon from Mysterious Book. In Violet, this Pokémon somehow resembles an incomplete version of an Omega, described in a paranormal magazine. Shiny version is inspired by the original Shiny. Let's talk about the paradox starters. I made a paradox from Mudkip. Yes, and the Swampert is a little Mudkip, even more inspired by an Axolotl. In addition to Mega Swampert, it's basically a fusion of them. Try to find a shape that could be cute, compact, at the same time brave. To wonder the title of paradox, it will now stays in the land, but from time to time it can swim. Despite its angry face, it doesn't pose much fear, because it's such a friendly behavior. And if you're curious about its size, it's about that towel you're seeing on the screen. Muddyfins is done. It's a ground fairy type because Swampert is ground, so it's fair to keep its type. Scarlet Dex says, a notebook says that the great Mudfins creatures were very close to ancient village. And from Violet, it has some details to a giant Mudkip described in a dubious book. Its shiny is more pink, reference the original. Did you like it? Another star I made was Ember Paradox. Aspirations were Ganon from Zelda, especially his Dark Beast farm. Also, Gladiator's helmets. In the fact that fans hated Ember because it's not quadruped. It's no sense in my opinion. As you can see, its design is a bit big-headed, a bit disproportional, but at least it's quadrupedal, so whatever. It has a fiery hair, the shape of Gladiator's helmet. Now, the technical information. Reckless Ember. Name inspired by the originals and its ability. It's fire ground type, no special reason though. It's carved its shape. This feral creature was described in a notebook, giving headlong rushes into mountain. In Violet, Paranormal magazine commented about an ultra-aggressive ember used to live in isolated deserts. The shiny version is inspired by the original. They think it's very beautiful. What about another fusion? What if Nidoking and Nidoqueen are only one? In my opinion, gender is outdated business, but could be like Iron Valiant and combine the two, basically a non-binary Pokémon. The design is basically a mix of the both faces, the Queen's torso and the King's legs, with the colors in a tone that is a mix of the original colors. Iron Nido is done. By the way, Nido of Nidoqueen and Queen are from Nido. That's why I chose this name for it. Scarlet Pokédex says, resembles a robot Pokémon described in a paranormal magazine, the supremacy of the realms. In Violet, it's possible that Iron Nido is this object with the similarities described in the notebook. Shines Chrome as well. X1 is a Paradox Klinklang, a Pokemon that I really like, but few people like it too. My idea is to make it similar to Sandshocks, but now being a snake and of rusty gears. In design, in the center, a Klinklang with floating arms and a metal rod on the ground, like a tail. It's all rusty, maybe a little too much. Rusty Gears is here. It is still poison type because Rusty is toxic. Scarlet Pokédex says, it is similar to a creature described in a notebook found in an abandoned factory. In Violet, this Pokémon is described by a paranormal magazine as the gears of machine revolted and created life to contaminate all the organic beings. Descriptions are a reference to the machine revolution, and the shiny is gold and greenish, like the original. Did you like it? Other fusion, let's go. Heracross and Pinsir are connected in some way. Did you realize both have bug types, both at the same base stats, and both got megas together in separate games? Why not combine them? Or better, what if I create a common ancestor? They evolve in the opposite ways, and that's why they become rivals. My idea was to make the ancestor inspired by the better evolution Pinsir and Mega Heracross, and thus a mix of the best each one. Its body is a mix of the two, including details from Mega Heracross and sea horns between the Heracross horns. Also, they have the face of the evolution Beta Pinsir, which looks like a ghost mask, in my opinion. Orange Penumbra is done. It's a boost type, oh, there is no bias toward the two megas. Scarlet description says, ancient book describes a creature lurks in the shadows of forests, stealing spirits. And Violet says, this Pokemon is similar to an ancestor of Pinsir and Heracross, described in a paranormal magazine. Shiny version is greenish. It's Dodrio time, forgotten dual Pokemon. How about making inspired by a cassowary and running dinosaurs? It makes sense since birds are close to dinosaurs. The design is a bit over-detailed, in my opinion. I don't like it too much, but it's basically more robust Dodrio with cassowary details. I also imagine running very fast, like Galarian Zapdos. Terrifying bird is here. It's normal dark type because it don't make sense for being just flying, because Dodrio can fly either, so why are they flying types? Scarlet Pokédex says, agile creatures that reign in the deserts, described in a new paper which was very similar to this Pokemon. Violet resembles a Pokemon described in a dubious magazine, but has never seen before. Shiny version is bluish-green, with blue details, very different from the ugly green, the shiny Dodrio. It's really cool that the Sword of Justice got new paradoxes. But what about Calgio? Has it been forgotten? No, let's do justice for it. It is inspired by Astro Boy, especially the boots that make it fly. Also, a cartoon, life as a teenage robot, an Iron Man thrusters. The design is basically a Keldeo that can use hydro pumps into the holes and fly like the original, but now it can shoot energy as well. It has hazel Keldeo hair and greenish glowing fluid, and just like Iron Boulder, it has a simple gray body. Iron Swift is done. The type is Warp Psychic, like the others, he now learns, in addition to Secret Sword, a new move called Secret Upsurge, a War type move with 60 base power, which has priority +1, like Quick Check. Its current description says, Pokémon was a mystery for a long time, until it was catalogued by a conspiracy magazine. Violet. Its body has similar details to Iron Swift, known as the Lost Musketeer Cyborg, in a certain book. Shiny version is Chrome, but I think it's not bad. Now, an idea from a channel member asked me to create an egg/paradox, maybe a futuristic weapon or a prehistoric weapon. But I decided to go totally different route. I want to do something very different, very out of the box. Similar what happened with Suicune into Walking Wake, Raikou into Raging Bolt. Something unpredictable. Basically, I turn in Egg/, into a dinosaur. Especially Parasaurus, Molluskus, Malphasage, Spinosaurus, and a giant sloth. The design is quite chaotic and strange, but I like it. I don't think it's a pretty and stylish design at all, but I like it because it was different and unexpected. Oh my god, what I want? I don't want to make a beautiful Pokemon this time, just something different. Really have been better, yes, but I try my best. That's the result. Made it grow legs and turn the shield of the shell with the Spinosaurus crest. So well, added a horn edge in the tail as modifying colors, by the way. Savage Blade is here. It is still Dark type just because don't choose Dragon type because Paradox Excalibur already is Dragon Steel. And Scarlet that says. This Pokemon has characteristics similar to those of Savage Blade, brutal creature mentioned in a medieval book. In Violet, it has similar features to a hungry Stegosaurus and was covered in a dubious magazine, but the two have little else in common. A shiny version similar to the original shiny. What do you think? Next one is Banette, sweet SM from subscriber. I found very interesting to make inspired by Egyptian dolls, and I want you to improve design by making Velociraptor body. And of course, calling details from Mega Banette, just like Birdie Moon as from Mega Salamence. The design looks similar to Flutter Mane because I thought it matches very well. The heavy tongues like balls and a crest in the head. Despite running very fast, it's not actually fast. It's preferred to use the shadow form like Gengar and being underground. Despite not having much speed, it is very fast in the game like Vikavolt. A walking hex is done. It's a ghost rock type because it patches with the relic aspect. The Egyptian aesthetic aids unique type so far. Scarlet Dex says, according to an ancient book, a curse will be placed to anyone who disturbs the spirits of the desert, and this curse is called a walking hex. And from Violet, it resembles a Banette described in a season channelist magazine. Shiny version is blue, like the original, very simple. Now, a paradox from the future. What about a fusion again? Is there mime from Kanto in Mr. Rhyme could be one, or be just one? The supremacy, the mind, and most invasive stage idea for it was to be an old cartoon. This rhyme inspired by old Shapley films, so makes sense, and made inspired by the classic Mickey and Spinel from Steven Universe. As you can see in the design, it has incredible limbs in stretch or shrink, but Spinel in old cartoons, magic dancing, tap dancing, and stretching around, walking in a very goofy way, like Zerg 3. It's only of the few future paradoxes that I enjoyed to design, not gonna lie. Don't let me cry. It's the Ice Fairy type because it's a combination of the types of the two variants. Scarlet Paradox says, Paranormal magazine claims that a time traveler used this Pokemon to represent his origin time. In violet, resembles Iron Mimicry, a cyborg described in the old book made by a secret society of doctors. Basically, just made by Doctor Who. The shiny one is Crow. He doesn't like that bad, do you agree? X1 is Rhydon Paradox. The first Pokemon design will be introduced to the Paradox by its beta version. It was the first Pokemon at all. It was a bigger, more compact Pokemon, but decided to do the same for design. Can we change it to the Tambarco C's version? So the colors are pretty much the same, but with typical Paradox details, like great dusk spots. And if you think it is small because it's compact, you're wrong. Look at the size of this big head boy. And strong heart is done. Type is ground normal to mention that many people from Gen 1 only normal type coverage, including Hydro, which use Earthquake and Double Edge, and now can finally have stable move. Scarlet Pokédex says. This Pokemon resembles the Headstrong Horn, a creature described in the oldest book found. Real Violet. PRC magazines said that this Pokemon was the first Pokemon found. And the shiny version is Beach, the original. You like it. What about one more cute paradox, but is actually big? Trapinch will be very interesting by mixing its evolution details in a Trapinch body, just like Vitorines. The design is basically Trapinch, a fur cloak, and Vibrava, and flying details. And now the legs are insect pincers. Now look you assess comparison. Huge boy. Now let's see the technical information. Dusty Jaws is done. It's a bug ground type. This makes sense with design, and the Scarlet Pokédex says. Not enough data, but it's similar to Dusty Jaws, described as the lost Mega Evolution. Violet. Conspiracy magazine described what a Flygon would look like if it incarnated in a Trapinch body. As an anomaly, it was the opposite of what was expected by the researchers. It's a reference that, in fact, Flygon had a Mega Evolution was scrapped for the creators. The shiny version has the colors of the original shiny Trapinch. Isn't it cute? Let's showcase a duo like Dolphin had Great Tusk and Iron Threads. The Pokemon of the moment is a Titan. I start with the first Paradox, which I decided to take inspiration from a sperm whale in the Narval. As the Titan description says, it was marine, placed on the sea before reaching the land. And design is basically a Titan that still lives in the water. Imagine how big it will be. Don't need to imagine, I'm showing you. Oh, the technical information. Permafrost Horn. It's Ice Dark type, even though it can swim with Star and Water type. Harlek that says. It is similar to Permafrost Horn, a giant sea monster that has only been seen one time, described in a Sailor Logbook. And from Violet. Apparently, this Pokemon would be in speculation of what the title would like if he had never left the water, according to a paranormal magazine. The shiny version is black, the original. Now, the future version, I decided to be inspired by orcas, submarines, and beta shark. It has anchor on its tail. The design is basically a sea titan with an anchor on the tail. If you both its dark gray reference the original shiny sea titan. Like fusion paradoxes, it's much smaller than the original. Arrow anchor is done. The Ice Steel type, of course, it will learn Anchor Shot. Correct, that says. Paranormal magazine described this Pokemon as if it were a submarine made of carcass of a dead sea titan. And Violet says. This object is similar to the Idle Anchor, marine drone that probed Hoenn 11 years ago, according to legends. The shiny version is Chrome, and this makes the original the colors of the shiny sea titan and vice versa. Oh, am I right? Next one is an old paradox I give for Ugly. The idea was to be inspired by the saber-toothed tiger in Dracula, because it has gothic details and ears to resemble Dracula's cape, as well the red cloak and vampire fangs. Despite this, it's very compact and chewy. Royal Fangs is done. It's normal fighting type because I don't think any bear type. It's got the name because of Dracula. It's its account. Its description of Scarlet is. It resembles a mischievous hunter who lived in an abandoned castle, described in a notebook. And Violet says, Although we've never seen a dubious magazine describe it as a Pokemon resemble a prehistoric or ugly. The shiny version is more colorful, just to differentiate a little. When I had to make a legendary paradox, I wanted to do one for the best meal since it is the Genesis Pokemon, but I didn't have time to finish it. So for now, we only will have the Mewtwo Future Paradox, inspired by a Mega Mewtwo Y, the armor that he used in the first Pokemon movie. The designs are simple, basically Mewtwo with armor and wires on its body. Don't have much to say, it's very obvious. Idle Clue is done. It's beside Steel type and it has a very generic name. I know, it's correct that says. Pokemon is described by a paranormal magazine, The Metal Homunculus, a child of the original DNA to cause a mass destruction if it were released. In Violet that says, it has the same shape of robot made by a mad scientist from a big corporation based on manuscripts of an ancient book. The shiny version is grown, almost imperceptible. And there's a detail. I want to see when the park drive is activated, it changes the form to this version. Basically, the colors of Shadow Mewtwo and the shiny version has the original shiny colors. Did you like it? The next one is a suggestion from a subscriber who asked me to make a float zone with snake details, so it would be very interesting to make him as inspired by a basilisk and enlarge the floaters as if they were the crest of our cobra. But I didn't like the design, and by the way, I gave up because I found it very weird, just showing to record. Maybe someday I will remake it, I don't know, but I won't share anything. I tried, but shame on me. And wow, that video was long. If you watched this far moment, goodbye Area 0. I just want to record all the paradox I make so far, just one video. So in this year, 2024, I will focus more on the original designs, other type of content about Fakemon, so stay tuned. Big special thanks to Jack Gilmore, Jeremy Starr, and Toy Bunny. And a special thanks to all the members so far. Happy New Year and bye-bye, Huggists!